I love auditioning. This is your new mantra. And this is a part of what this action item is all about. You see, as an actor, and I've mentioned before that actors, auditioning is the bane of their existence. Well, you need to make it the joy of your life. Psychologically, you need to overcome any resistance that could stop you from sharing all the love and craft that you have inside of yourself when you move into that audition room. Don't hate the audition room. Don't hate the audition process. Love it. I want you to love it, because that attitude is everything in most things in life. And this is no different. Again, as I talk about things that will set you free or allow you to have no inhibitions to share yourself openly in the role that you're playing or auditioning for, then you need to have a positive attitude towards it. You need to change your mindset if you don't already love it. I don't care if you just like it. That's not enough. I need you to love it, and I need you to talk about it in that way all the time. I love auditioning. I love it. I can't wait to get in that room. I can't wait to prepare. I can't wait to go through the process, my audition process that you've been creating in the previous action item. I can't wait to get in that room and share my love with the world. I love auditioning. You need to repeat this as your mantra now. Now, some of you might be saying, well, it's hard for me to love it when I fail so much at it. Well, historically, yeah, everybody talks about how the business of acting is failing because you fail so many times in an audition. Well, I want you to increase your success ratio by developing processes and whatnot, and also changing your mindset. There's another thing that you can do, and that is research audition classes. Now, this is another one of the main reasons why I think actors hate auditioning. Auditioning is much more than a camera and a reader and just rattling off a scene. You need to understand how to adapt your craft to the audition environment. Similarly to the way you adapt your craft when you're on stage for plays or theater, or for film and TV, for comedy, for drama, you're adapting your craft. And most actors learn to do that subtly. But what they don't learn to do is adapt their craft for the audition environment. So if you're having trouble with that, I strongly recommend that you research an audition class. I resisted for years, and that was probably the biggest mistake I made. Well, no, not the biggest, but one of them. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my career was not having researched a really good audition technique class. I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking just a camera and a reader. I'm talking, I want you to find a teacher, or I'm suggesting that you find a teacher who has a process that they can describe to you. I want you to go consider auditing a class or two and understanding what kind of direction this teacher is giving, because I'm going to assume that you can either act or you're learning to act. But again, in order to be able to free that love and for you to be able to react with the reader and openly and share your craft, you need to put yourself in a situation where you feel great and that you're free to do that. And so I always compare it to, you take a process and then you lay your craft over top of it. For any situation, whether it be theater, you lay your craft, you adapt it slightly to mold to that environment. It's the same for film, TV, and it needs to be the same for the audition room. And I don't think people talk enough about that. Winning at auditions is oftentimes just the difference between somebody who gets the audition room. I've even heard directors complain about actors who are great in the audition, but they're terrible on set. But those actors work. Because for some reason, they either got lucky, or they did take a class and they did get it. So when they're in an audition environment, they perform very well. but when they're on set, they're just not as special or not as creative. Well, they need obviously to take more acting classes or to understand what the barriers are for them when they're getting into an acting environment. Maybe it's their distraction, they're not able to focus. But either way, for us here today, what I want to talk to you about is, number one, the mantra, changing your attitude. I love auditioning, love it. No matter what it is, love it. Because attitude definitely will change the outcome. And the second part of this action item is to consider at least auditing audition classes and then eventually enrolling in one. Because like I talk about in the program, we are all about craft. It is all about craft. Just like water is the essence of life, craft is the essence of the art. But the reality of the situation is you can't live on water alone, and you can't sustain a career on craft alone, or very, very few people do it. And I don't want it to be, and I will even go as far as to say that even the best actors in the world, their craft is at a level that is so high that I don't want to say that they're lucky. I want to say that they were able to focus so greatly on that, and everything in them, their natural instincts and everything all aligned for them. But everybody doesn't have to be at 100 out of 100 on craft in order to have a successful career. I'm suggesting that you raise all of your 6 Ps, which is why you're in this program, to a level where even if you're a 75 on the craft, all your other Ps add up to something greater than what most actors you're competing against. So for this, at this moment in time, I love auditioning. And take the time, do some research, audit some classes, and even take one if you feel good about it. Because that might be what you need now, rather than, say, another craft class. Because if you have already spent years in school, and this is, again, what I talk about with this program all the time, it's about what do I need right now? What's going to give me the greatest return on my investment? Not just in money, but in time. You need to get rolling. It doesn't matter what age you are. The sooner you get it, the sooner you start winning, the sooner you get closer to leading the life that you want to lead as an artist. And the sooner you get to be able to share your wonderful gifts with the world. I tell you this with love. Love auditioning. And then learn to adapt your craft to the audition environment if you are not as successful in the audition room as you want to be.